Sri Lanka's former president Ranil Wickremesinghe was arrested today by the Criminal Investigation Department or CID over allegations that he misused public funds during a private trip to London in 2023 while serving as the country's head of the state. While he has now been granted bail, he is the highest ranking opposition leader in Sri Lanka to be detained in the ongoing anti-corruption drive which has been launched by the country's new leftist administration. Hello and welcome to The Print. I am Debdutta and today I will tell you more about this case. So at the center of this investigation is a visit by Wickremesinghe and his wife, Professor Maitri Wickremesinghe, to London on September 22nd to 23rd, 2023 to attend a graduation ceremony at the University of Wolverhampton. This trip was part of a broader overseas itinerary that included official visits to Cuba, where Wickremesinghe participated in the G77 summit, and the US. Now, police allege that the London leg of the trip had no official purpose and was effectively a personal detour paid for with public money. According to local reports, police submissions to the Colombo 4th Magistrates Court say that the trip cost the government approximately Rs 16.9 million, which included expenses for a 10-person entourage and the former president's security details. Wickremesinghe, on his part, maintains that his wife had paid her own expenses and insists that no state funds were misused. His office has dismissed the reports as false and misleading and has said that a formal statement will follow pending legal consultation. Now, what led to the arrest? Wickremesinghe had assumed the presidency in July 2022, completing the remainder of Gotabaya Rajapaksa's term after mass protest which forced Rajapaksa to resign. Though he lost his re-election bid to Dissanayake in a closely contested vote last year, Wickremesinghe remained a significant opposition figure despite his party holding just 3 seats in the 225-member parliament. On Friday morning, Wickremesinghe voluntarily arrived at the CID headquarters in Colombo to record his statement and was then taken into custody shortly after. Police say that his arrest followed new evidence and testimonies from senior officials, including his former presidential secretary Saman Ekanayake and his private secretary Sandra Pereira, both of whom were questioned last month in connection with the same case. Now, Wickremesinghe's arrest is unprecedented because though Sri Lanka has seen political scandals and accusations of financial misconduct over the years, senior figures have typically remained untouched by legal consequences. He is now the most senior political figure to ever be arrested in recent years, and this arrest may mark a shift in the country's political culture, signaling a more assertive push for transparency and legal accountability, particularly in the wake of the 2022 economic collapse that brought millions to the streets in protest. It also puts pressure on the current administration led by President A.K. Dissanayake, who was elected after defeating Wickremesinghe in a tight runoff in September 2024. Dissanayake had particularly campaigned on an anti-corruption platform and is now being closely watched for how his government handles this case. Since taking power, Dissanayake's government has also overseen the jailing of several prominent opposition politicians, with some receiving sentences of up to 25 years for corruption. Multiple members of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa's family also face prosecution for alleged misuse of public funds, and many are currently out on bail awaiting trial. Earlier this month, the government had impeached the police chief Desabandhu Tennanaku over accusations of operating a criminal network with political ties, while the prison's chief was also convicted and jailed for corruption. Now, Wickremesinghe also has a connection to a larger case that was filed against this current government that is now ruling. But who is Wickremesinghe? For starters, he is a towering figure in Sri Lankan politics. The 76-year-old has served as Prime Minister 6 times and was President from July 2022 until November 2024. He assumed the presidency in the aftermath of mass protests that toppled the then government during the country's worst economic meltdown in decades. Despite the current charges against him, Wickremesinghe is also credited with steering Sri Lanka through its worst economic crisis, and in early 2023, he secured a $2.9 billion bailout from the International Monetary Fund or IMF and then implemented sweeping austerity measures which included sharp tax hikes and the removal of energy subsidies in order to boost state revenue and restore fiscal stability. But his tenure was also marked by accusations that he protected the political establishment and cracked down on dissent. He has long been a polarizing figure. His early political career was clouded by his alleged role in the Batalanda torture complex in the late 1980s, when a presidential commission of inquiry, which was established in 1995, accused Wickremesinghe, who was then a senior cabinet minister, of having knowledge of and alleged administrative responsibility for the Batalanda housing scheme. Now, the site was reportedly used as a covert detention and torture facility targeting members of the now ruling government, the Janata Vimukti Peramuna or the JVP party, during the late 1980s insurgency. Although the commission did not result in criminal charges against him, it did recommend that he be stripped of his civic rights. This recommendation, however, was never acted upon. Now, this controversy resurfaced earlier this year in March after a widely criticized interview that Wickremesinghe gave to Al Jazeera. During this interview, Wickremesinghe, who then served as Minister of Industries under President Rana Singha Premadasa in the late 1980s, was questioned about allegations of torture during that period, and he denied any kind of involvement or responsibility for the alleged abuses, despite being accused of enabling operations at what became known later as a torture camp. Post the interview, Wickremesinghe accused members of the interview panel of having ties to the LTTE and claimed that the interview was unfairly edited. He complained that the interview was not like Sri Lankan media and that some parts had been edited and the juicier parts of the interview did not come and will never come again. With him now being granted bail, the case remains to be seen. For now, this is Debdutta for The Print. Keep watching for more such videos.